Good morning, still morning, late morning. It's May 24th, and it's Tuesday, so as I often do on Tuesday, I'm actually walking downtown in two parts. Short walk down, short walk back, lunch in the middle, do some work. And internet, so did I forget to turn off the Wi-Fi? Well, hopefully it figures it out here in a minute. It's assuming it's even streaming and hasn't just hung up on me. I can't really tell. It does seem to be complaining about the connectivity, which is very odd around here. How odd. Well, if the stream doesn't work, the recording does, so it'll probably take care of itself here in a minute. It's very nice. It's 22 degrees, so very warm today. Sun shining. Can't quite say not a cloud in the sky, but not a lot. Still says it's unstable. Very odd. This may be the last walk for a while. I have to go somewhere, but we'll see. I might do it while I'm away, might not. But if I don't, then I'll be back next Monday if I don't do it in the interim. So, not promising one way or the other. How odd. It still says unstable internet connection. Lots of bars, so I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's just a leftover error message and it's actually cleared up and it's just not telling me. Could have worn shorts today, but I'm going to go to the Hotel Saskatchewan to work, and thought I'd wear long pants for that. Spent the morning editing some of the YA fantasy novel I'm working on called Changers, and also a big freelance editing project I'm working on. I've never seen that message stay there that long. And yet it's got lots of bars, so it's not really any problem with the connectivity that I can see. Unless it's a problem with the app, that's possible. Oh well, I don't know. Can't do anything about it, so I'll just ignore it. Don't know what path we'll follow. Depends on what the lights do. What makes the most sense. For some reason my computer feels heavier than usual. I don't know what that's all about. So as always, get up here to Albert, have to get across it. Doesn't look like I'm going to hit the lights well for that, because it's just now changing. So maybe I'll go on up north along Albert here for at least one block. So it's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum over there, as I always point out. And they also own this brick building over here, which used to be the first Saskatchewan government telephones building, but now is part of the museum. Has labs and specimens and stuff in it that they're working on. Kind of their science building, whereas the other is the museum building. Right there. Mystery Mansion. It's an escape room. I just wonder what the status is of escape rooms, if any of that's actually happening right now. Well, this bad transmission thing finally went away. Specs here is where we get glasses framed sometimes. Our favorite gas station, just because it's our closest gas station. Thai Garden. I've only been in there a couple of times to eat. We tend to go to Viet Thai, which is a little further up here. Didn't hit that light well either, so we will keep walking up this way. That seems to be the way. If you keep hoping you'll get a better light next time, but the timing seems to be such that you always end up walking down just one side of the street. The difference is, if you're on that side, you can usually jaywalk because all the streets are one way. On this side, they're two way, so it's a little harder. Dance studio, class act, this building, where my daughter danced and worked. She was just there last weekend helping out. They're getting ready for their recital, a production of Alice in Wonderland. And, she was helping out with that. Class act studio. And of course, downtown is over there, City Hall. Bodega. I think I say this every time I go by. I keep wishing it would reopen, but there's no sign of it. There's still chairs sitting up on the deck up there, but there's been no indication of it coming back. I used to like to go there sometimes, especially I was on my own and needed some place to go eat because it's easy walking distance. Missed this one too, and it's a really long one, so I won't be waiting for it to change. Various things in this one. Apartments, and then sort of, I've never been in the basement, but there's clearly offices of various sorts down there. And up next, First Presbyterian Church, where we got married 25 years ago this September. There. Built the same year as our house, 1926. Here's the cat cafe. Let's see if there's any cats in the windows. There aren't always, because they're not actually open, I don't think, and I'm not sure when they let the cats out from the back. Don't see any in the windows, so they must be in the back. Nouveau Gallery. Also not open at the moment. This is just a strip mall. Number 1 fire hall over there. There is Viet Thai that I mentioned as our more favored restaurant of that sort. missed that one too. Central. Dozed off, missed the light. Cathedral Social Hall here I've sometimes gone to eat and work, but not today. What's in here now other than float now? No signs indicating what's in there. And this medical clinic up here is not there anymore. It's empty. So that building seems to be largely empty, although there's flowers out front, so there's clearly something in there. And there's Victoria. There we will now have to go down. Victoria Avenue, that is. And of course, what was once a department store is now part of the Terra, which was Wheat Pool. Has some nice terracotta. I don't know if they're terracotta or not. If you look up, there's even gargoyles up there. And nice details down here. Lovely building. I missed this one too. Well, this time I have no choice but to wait. And we'll go straight down Victoria then from here. I think that's still called the North Canadian Oils building. Dry cleaner over there. Wait for the left turn signal here. There we go. Kind of wish I had gone for the shorts. I did put on a white shirt, which is the coolest you can wear. The sun reflects off of it. Green shirts seem to be the hottest. They seem to absorb all the infrared. Of course, black is hot as well. Red is probably cooler because it presumably reflects more down at that end of the spectrum, the heat end of the spectrum. To City Hall on our left. This sort of fortress-looking building used to be the Salvation Army Church. That's why it has that look. It's now a law firm. No, we're gonna have to wait here too. There's City Hall. House. Parking meter guy giving a ticket. I've never been in this courthouse. I've been in the, I guess it's the provincial one, but this is the federal courthouse. I think that's how that works. Metropolitan Church over there. This will bring us up to the Balfour, my favorite apartment building. Knoxmet, the old part is quite old. The extension is now old, but a lot newer than the old part. Probably 50s, maybe 60s. It's always been like that I can remember, but clearly it was added at some point. Here's the Balfour. At least when we were looking here, one side was condos and one side was rental units. This is why I like it. I just love their entryway here. This little courtyard with the gate and the Moorish look to it. Very nice. Then we get First Baptist Church, which was heavily damaged when the tornado came right down the street, as you can imagine, back in 1912. Tornadoes will do that. It went basically right down Lorne here. Came from the lake, or over the lake. There's First Baptist. That's the most deadly tornado in Canadian history, that 1912 tornado that hit Regina, killed 20-some people. Doesn't match up to the most deadly ones in U.S. history, but a lot more open space here. I mean, it just got hit by something very close to one in southern Ontario. A lot of Ottawas without power right now as a result. Untitled building and the Sports Hall of Fame. So somebody else is getting a ticket. There's Victoria Park with the cenotaph, and then here on the right is our destination, Royal Saskatchewan Museum. It's a Marriott, in case you're wondering. Isn't everything. And of course, there's that lovely view of the park and the old federal building there, that sort of Art Deco with a lovely Nissan convertible sitting there. And downtown, heart of downtown right there. Well, this too, I guess. And I'll be behind those windows momentarily, working and eating. And so I will stop here. So thanks for walking with me, and I'll be back later. Bye for now. Right then, I'm back. It's still May 24th, and I just had lunch at the Hotel Saskatchewan, and that's where I am right now in the lobby, and now heading home. Got a lot of work done, got what I needed to be done, so don't think I'll stretch this out in any way. I'll just walk home. This is where I get my hair cut. It's in the barber shop here. Blessed Sacrament Church over there as we come out. Yeah, we'll go down this way, down behind the hotel, maybe down the alley. See you here in a minute. Got 50-some pages of this huge editing project I'm currently looking after done, so that was good. It's like the thing is 230,000 words, so it's like 2 full-length novels. It is a novel, and I've done more than half of it now. It's just a copy edit. The writing's pretty good, but a lot of copy editing to be done. Misspelled words, wrong words. The author tends to get close to the word she wants without actually quite getting the word she wants. Classic example of that is effects instead of effects, affects with an A instead of an E. That's an easy one to make, but there's others like that I'm working my way through. Plus the usual stuff, punctuation, capitalization, just the kind of thing you do when you copy edit. Nice guy, but most skateboarders are jerks as far as I can tell. And he was got into the stereotype there. Probably lucky I don't get more of that kind of jerkiness when I walk by. I don't know why you would do that, but oh well. There's one thing that one quickly comes to realize as one gets older, it's that there is no limit to the amount of jerkiness in the human population. I like this old apartment building here. It's like the old Barnum and Bailey thing. There's a sucker born every minute. Well, there's a jerk born every minute. Municipal hail. I don't know if that's still what that is or not, but that's what the sign says. That's an apartment building. Also an apartment building, but a considerably older one. And random geese. There are always geese in the places where you least expect to see them. Like there. For rent. Maybe they're looking for an apartment. I don't know. Cornwall Village, 50 plus Seniors Housing Corp. 50 plus? Good grief. I'm 12 years past that. I don't want to live in a seniors housing co-op. One of the early condo buildings down this way. As I mentioned, this is the one we visited when we were trying to decide if we would buy one by the same developer. And we liked it enough that helped us convince ourselves. Another old apartment building there. And also an old apartment building, but not as old as that one and not nearly as interesting architecturally. There's a lot of this sort of era around, kind of dull.
Are you going to be able to hit high too, like say with a wedge?
I'll be just depend how close to that.
This is where Sterling Productions is. They have a production of Catch Me If You Can opening this week. And this is like a meeting space, and then Tangerine here is a nice little restaurant, coffee shop. We've eaten in it quite a few times. Haven't been in it recently. Lorne Drugs over there. I've occasionally bought things at. Cross over here once. Somebody coming? Walk on the shady side of the street, up against another old apartment building. Eh? Henry's Cafe over there, and then Henry's is kind of a gift shop, art gallery kind of place. I'll go down the alley here. I don't think I've ever walked down this alley, so let's do that. It's always interesting to see the backs of some of the houses and buildings that you don't usually see. Probably a pathway through here, which I've never walked along. Sure, we'll go between the buildings. Just to be different. Actually, I think this was the condo building we visited, not the other one that I pointed out earlier. In fact, I'm sure of it. It was actually this one when we were looking to see if we wanted to buy a condo by the same developer. Yeah, definitely this one, Thornton Place. And a Centerboy Gallery here, I highly recommend as a place to look at art and potentially buy it. We've bought several pieces here. I haven't been in for a while, but we know the people who run it quite well. I'm just going to walk straight home. I'm not trying to stretch this one out at all, so the total length of today's walk will actually be fairly short, 2 20-minute halves. And again, I'll be away, so I don't know if I'll be doing any more walking until next week. So if I disappear, don't worry. I haven't died. Probably. Could happen. I just vanished, but hopefully that's not the reason. Technically, of course, they should be behind the crosswalk, not in the middle of it. Snow route, one wind declared, but it seems unlikely we'll be having a snow route anytime soon, which is good. Done with snow. Timing's not good on this crosswalk up here. Maybe I'll go down the alley here. Thai garden. I pointed out the front side of this when I walked by it earlier. Unfortunately, that big blank brown wall of theirs is a graffiti magnet, as pretty much any blank wall is. And if I think skateboarders are often jerks, you can imagine what I think of graffiti vandals. I will never call them a graffiti artist, they're vandals. That's my opinion. don't deface somebody else's property. Seems like a basic rule of good behavior, but apparently didn't sink in with a certain segment of the population. We'll go through the little archway here. So that was the first Saskatchewan Government Telephones building. This was the second one, and then SaskTel built a new building downtown, which is the current one. This is where my wife works, because she's a SaskTel engineer. Well, I'm still going to have to wait. Even this one didn't time out very well. Oh well. Heading over there, of course, towards home. I guess I could stretch it out a little if I wanted to go down there and across, but I don't really feel like that. We will cross here. As I mentioned earlier, that actually belongs to the Royal Saskatchewan Museum now, and it's full of bones and laboratories and fossils and dinosaurs in amber and things like that. Maybe I'll go down the Angus Crescent alley just to vary this a bit. Again, there's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum over there, the actual museum part of the museum. There's a great old heritage house here, but it got torn down a few years ago. Used to be there a lot because we knew the woman who owned it. She was a good friend of the family. Had a lovely garden in her backyard. We'd be over there in the evenings. It was lovely. But it got torn down by these people who built a brand new house there. Alright, we'll go down the alley, which happens to be paved, at least for a portion of it. One of the things Beverly, who used to live here when the old house was still here, helped spearhead was this neighborhood watch area. Called this Lavender Lane, and there were lots of flowers and things along here. At the time that she died a few years ago. Time keeps marching along. Nothing lasts forever. Oh yes, I am not in the best of moods right now. I just realized that. Think about the comments I've been making on this walk. I might be just a little grouchy or something. Sorry about that. It's an interesting carport with that deck up above it. I have a treehouse over here. Woof. Woof, woof. Oh, he's up there. He was actually able to see me. And up here, it's a nice deck as well, I always thought, up on top of that house. Garage. This isn't quite the alley I normally walk down when I'm coming back. There's a couple of them, and this is the first one that I don't normally come along. But there's the school in front of us, Davin School. Renamed the Crescents by people who are idiots. It's all Davin School to me. Oh, did I say that out loud too? I am grouchy today. Spicy, I think that's the current term. Spilling some tea. Is that correct? Or am I misusing the modern kids talk and all their slangy stuff? Probably. Never does to try to be hip. As we said once upon a time, when you're in your 7th decade, as I guess I now am. Just begun it, but I'll be almost a third of the way through it come my birthday this summer. And that's kind of hard to imagine too. In my head, I don't seem any different than when I was a teenager, but looking in the mirror, there are certain signs that something has changed in the last 50 years. Half a century. That's even worse. I don't like any of that. Forget I said anything. No, I'm 22, at the oldest. That's the alley I usually come across when I walked around the lake. I like that house. Built by the same architect who built ours, Francis Portnell, who also designed the aforementioned Davin School. I suspect he built that house and lived in the neighborhood while he was building the school and other things in this neighborhood, because I don't know how many other houses he did, but I know he designed our house. Alrighty, another short walk. That's all there is today. Thanks for walking with me, and like I said, don't know if I'll be back this week, and if I am, it'll be in Toronto, or if I will just put it off until next week and resume next week. We'll see. Anyway, bye for now.